Hello everyone. So this is a kind of question that is asked frequently in the DSA rounds. So the question is basically you have been given an array and you have to return the output such that uh, the answer I that at any index 0, 1, 2 or 3, the answer should be equal to the product of all the elements of the original array except that particular element. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, then at 0th index, you should return the product of 2, 3, 4, 2 into 3 into 4 at the index number 0, 1, 2. Like where initially in the array it's 3, then you have to return the product of 1, 2, and 4, that is 8. So it's pretty simple question. Okay. Now the approach that we are going to take here is that I'm solving it in JavaScript. So the first check that we are obviously gonna put is if we are getting an array or not. If we are not getting an array, then we will just return an empty array. This is our initial check. Now the second, let me get this thing further. The logic is pretty simple. So we can get the product of the. This one we have. So what we can do is we can get the product of the all the elements of the array. Okay. So for that, what we have done is we have used a for each loop. Okay. We have used a for each loop for the array. Once we know that it is an array, we can use a for each loop. Then we will initialize a product whose value is 1 because 1 is the universal multiplicator. So any number that we will get multiplied by this product, we will get the same number back. So we are starting with that. So it is pretty simple. If you want, we can get it into a console thing as well. So let me show you here what we have done here. Okay, we don't need a return statement here. I'm just putting a console here. Okay, and in this console, what we are doing is we are just doing a product print. Okay, we are just taking this one. So let's see. Okay, wait a second. Okay, now let's see what we get in the when we are in this one. So the first time when we are get initially the product is obviously 1, then when it is multiplied by 1 we get 1, the second time it gets 2, then third time it gets 6, then the fourth time we are getting, so we get the product of the entire array. What is the uh, product of when we multiply each element of the array? So we are getting that in the first step itself. Okay, so we have this one here, we don't have to worry about what, but now we need an actual array with the product in it. So a very simple thing is that now since I have the entire product, if I divide it, like consider I have 24 in my product, right? I have the value of product as 24. So if I am at index 1, say 2, then if I divide 24 by 2, I will get the product of the remaining elements, right? So this is the basic concept that we will use. Okay. Now there is one problem when we have an element 0. Okay. Now at this point, there is a problem that the product will always come as 0, right? If you will see here, the product will come at 0. So for index 0 at first in this case, and in third and fourth, you don't have to worry that the answer will be 0 in those cases. But what will happen when we are being asked that at index number 0, 1, 2, 2, what will be the product? So the answer will be 9 in that case because we have minus 3 into 3, that is minus 9, and then minus 1, that will be 9. So how we can do it? Our logic that we will divide the product 0th by 0, that will fail miserably here. If you know how mathematics work, 0 by 0 we cannot find the value here. So what we do here, we are there is two cases here. Consider this. One, when we have only one zero in the entire array, just single zero, right? And the other case will be when we have one more zero. Okay, we have more than one zero. Okay, now in that case, see this. When we have only single zero, okay, in that case, uh, we need the product. We What we can do is whenever we encounter a zero, then we will just multiply the remaining numbers and we will give it as the result of that index. Okay, but consider there are more than one zero here. In that case, even if I'm at this element as well, at 0 1 2 element, okay, at the second index, if I am getting 0, the remaining product will still be 0 for this case. Okay, see this. If I'm at index where the element value is 3, then I'm already getting 0. It will be 0, the product of all the numbers. But consider that if I am at the even at the last element, I am still getting 1 0 in the remaining array, so the product will be 0. So I don't have to worry about this case. I only have to worry about when I have a single 0 case. So what we have to do here? What I have basically I just have to multiply the remaining elements of the array. So what I have done here is, if num is equal to 0, okay, then in that case I have used a reduce function which takes a previous which takes the a callback and an initial value. So the initial value is obviously 1. Okay, so what it does is it starts with 1, takes the previous value, that will be 1 initially, and then it will multiply with the current. Okay, so what I am doing is, if in any case, I'm just the logic is very simple. I just have to multiply this. So I am just doing with I'm just returning whatever I'm getting the previous value. I'm just multiplying it with the current. Okay, but there is one problem here. What happens when we are at this index where the num is equal to 0? Then I will again get the product as 0. Then there will be no use of using this logic reduce. Okay, so what I am doing is I am just adding a check. What is the check? If the current index is not equal to the index at which the value is 0, do the multiplication. Okay, else skip it, simply return the previous. That's it. This is the logic that I will use. In other sense, if the current index is not equal to the index at which the element is 0, simply return the previous into current. Give me the multiplied value. Else just return the previous. Basically, skip this element, skip case. Okay, so if I can show you what we are getting here is this nums dot reduce part. Okay, so let me give a console thing. Okay, console.log con console.log, and I am just getting this brief current. And okay, now let's see what we are getting here. Okay, brief into current. Okay, or else I'm getting this one right. So I am getting a console here. I'm going to put the console.log here as well, and this will what we will get here. Let me show you. Okay? Now let me run this case. See what I'm getting. Preview, I'm getting -1, -1. No, when it's 0, okay, I'm not getting -1, I've just skipped it. So I'm getting the same -1. At -3, I will get 3, and at the final element, I will get 9. Okay, so I am getting the product of all the elements except for that, this index at which the value was 0. Okay, now this is the thing. When I ran it, you will see it is true for even when the both the elements are 0. Anyway, if both the elements are 0, this should not come. So we can add a check that what is the count of number of zeros in this element. So if the count is greater than 0, we can simply return. So we can do that as well. So let's add let count equals to 0. Okay, we are just counting the 0. Okay, we have already ran the loop here, so we are just doing it. If num equals to 0, count plus plus. Okay, now let's add a check. If count is greater than 1, simply return, what can we do? Num start map, and we will return num and return 0 simply. So in that case, if I say that run the code, just getting, and let me add the submit widget fail. No, all submit tests passed in that case, and this was a more optimized solution. Okay, give a like, subscribe if you found it helpful.